everybody. Welcome to You Can Do It. We are a Zoom show powered by Special Olympics. My name is Nicolette Stearns, and I am one of your co-producers and one of your co-hosts. I am very excited because I get to work with two of the coolest guys around, Adam Hayes and Terrell Limerick. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to our technical director, Jason. And we're really excited to talk about, we are touching on today about what the new normal is going to look like. A few weeks ago, we had a really robust conversation about what is the new normal? How do we feel about it? What has it done to change our lives? And so today, we have with us a very special guest. Margie Billion has been a hairdresser for over 40 years. She is the founder and master stylist of a hair salon she created called the Studio of Color and Design in Rockville, Maryland. Margie is also an incredible community member, and she's here today to talk to us all about, as things are reopening, how is it going to look when we go to get our hair cut? What kinds of things should we be thinking about in terms of safety? And so today, Margie will talk a little bit. Adam's going to focus on asking Margie and having some dialogue about how her salon and her techniques are different than they were pre-pandemic. And then Terrell's going to focus on today, what are some things, you guys, that we should be thinking about to protect ourselves? And then, of course, as always on our show, we want to hear from you. So Margie will be taking your questions today. So let's get started. Margie Billion, welcome to the show. Can you tell us a little bit about your salon? I notice right now that you are actually wearing a mask. So can you just tell us a little bit about what's going on in that salon tonight?
What's going on in my salon tonight is I'm talking to you all. I had planned to actually be outside talking to you because I'm doing most of my haircuts outside, which is the new normal now. When on June 5th, when we first started, when we reopened up, I was doing most of my haircuts in my salon, and then one of my clients said, can I have my hair cut outside? And everybody else followed him, and I started having a salon outside as well.
Wow.
And
so Margie, you're wearing a mask.
I'm going to take it off now.
And can you talk about, so you have people come to the salon, are they coming in groups or do you see people one at a time?
One person at a time, and I used to do more than one person at a time. I used to do maybe two people at a time. It's only one person at a time now. And when the one person comes, I try to have them not bring I ask them not to bring a big handbag, to just bring their telephone and their payment.
Okay.
Bring a big handbag. There are no magazines in the salon anymore. Remember how when you used to go to the salon, you used to read all kinds of good magazines. There'd be People or Sports Illustrated. No more magazines, no more bringing you cups of coffee, no more chilled waters.
Wow. So Adam, I know you wanted to jump in there. You wanted to talk about and have Margie share with us, how is it different now with the coronavirus to be a hairdresser? Adam, go ahead, take it away.
Yes. So again, thank you for joining us. I was just wondering, what are some changes that we could expect that are changing when you get in your get your haircut due to the pandemic, and what accommodations have changed for those with disabilities, if any, when they visit?
With disability, well, for everybody, for all my clients, I have them sign a form. I have all my clients sign a form asking them, I have them sign a form asking them, have they had COVID, or are they sick? I have them sign a form. just asking them all kinds of questions with disabilities or not with disabilities. And I take their temperature.
Wow.
That's what I do.
Wow.
When you do for your customers with intellectual disabilities, do you have those questions? Are they broken down so that they understand what they'll be asked when they get in there?
That's a really good question. Because you know what, that's a very good question, because can I be honest with you? I am actually, I don't have intellectual disabilities, but I am learning disabled myself.
Yep.
I would actually have somebody come with me if I was an intellectually disability person, and I would have somebody come with, what I actually do is I send the form ahead of time to people, and I send the form ahead of time to a person so they get to read it ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
And so you would have somebody get to read it with you ahead of time, because I understand how that feels. Because like I said, I myself, I don't have intellectual disabilities, but I have learning disabilities.
And
So I'm in the same boat as you.
yeah, it's just one of those big things that I've always thought about when people come to something like anything coming out. So
No, I totally, I of all people understand what you're telling. I understand. I mean, I understand. I would have trouble. I would want that form to be sent to me ahead of time so somebody could help me read it.
right.
I understand. I mean, it's not Margie the hairdresser. It's Margie, the girl who has struggled in school.
Right. So I was also wondering, what are the most challenging issues you are facing when your customers come in to get their haircut now?
Say that again, please.
What are the most challenging issues you are facing when your customers come in to get their haircut now?
What were the most challenging issues I'm personally facing?
Yeah.
I'm actually a diabetic. I am a diabetic, and I have some breathing issues. So, and I'm almost 60 years old. So I am a person that is, I'm a person that has to be really, really careful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have to be extremely, extremely careful. So some hairdressers and some salons are blowing hair dry. I am not blowing any hair dry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And Margie, can you explain the blow drying part, just to kind of tag on to what Adam was saying? What's the not blow drying? Can you just share with all of us why would we not want the hair blow dried?
The experts are saying they don't know how this, the experts are actually saying that they don't totally understand this virus, and they don't totally understand this virus, and they don't have all the answers yet. And since I'm in that high risk category, I'm not taking chances. And therefore I will not do blow dries. And my clients respect me for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I tell my clients this: go home, blow your hair dry, and if you need me to tweak the haircut, please come back. And in the whole I guess 1.5 months that I've had clients coming, I've had one person that's needed to come back for a tweak.
Wow.
That's one person.
Wow.
And she was very lovely, and I just needed to take a little bit more bulk off the back of her head. I mean, it was a little bulky, but she hadn't had her hair cut since February. And that was my first time cutting her hair. Wow. So I think that's a pretty good, that's really good.
That's a good track record.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask Margie?
Yeah, I also was wondering, so the Texas Medical Association has put a risk chart out for activities it goes from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. It rates getting your hair cut as an 8. What should salons and hairdressers be doing to keep their customers and themselves safe?
Well, like I said, I'm doing it outside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it outside. That's being safe.
Yeah. And unique too, right, Margie? I mean, a lot of hairdressers aren't doing that. I mean, you
Aren't
really
doing it
come in
outside.
doing a lot of stuff off the bat to take care of your clients, but
And
doing
I
it
have
outside
read-
is really unique.
Adam, I have read about that getting your hair cut is one of the, I mean, a lot of my clients have not come back. I'm being really honest with you.
Sure.
I would say a third of my clientele has not come back, but I've been getting a lot of new clients because I'm cutting hair outside.
Wow. That was a great question, Adam. That was
Adam,
really great.
I mean, that's a really good question. I'm being totally honest that a lot of my clientele is not coming back, and a lot of my clientele has decided to go. I'm actually really a colorist. And when I first started cutting hair, I was more of a hair cutter in my 20s. In my 20s, I really only cut hair. And then in my 30s, I became more of a hair colorist. And I'm going back to what I call my roots as a hair cutter. And I actually love it. I really, it's very interesting. I'm sort of reinventing myself.
I love that. I love that. Terrell, I know you wanted to sort of focus on what it's like for us as the client. So do you want to talk with Margie about what questions should we be asking ourselves? Like Margie was saying, Adam asked about the form. Margie sends it ahead of time. Terrell, do you want to go ahead? Let's talk with Margie about what you wanted to talk about in terms of things we should think about too.
Hold on, Terrell, you are on mute. So
there you go.
Now, are you ready, Margie?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. I used to go to the barber shop, but now I have a haircut person. His name is Austin Jr. He worked with me. Worked in Target, and he cut my hair every couple of weeks. So that is so I just wanted to get that what I do. My question to you, Margie, is if you are a person and you need a haircut, so do you want a lady or a guy? Is it two different things or what? Tell me about that.
I actually do both. It was interesting this morning. I mean, this morning I did a man's haircut. I did a man's haircut outside, and he sat in my chair, and I said to him,
Right.
I said, how tall are you? And he said, I'm 6'6". And I said, okay, this is the new normal. You're going to have to slide down.
Wow.
I said, this is the new normal. You're going to have to slide down because I'm going to have to start bringing this chair that I'm sitting in. I'm going to have to start bringing this chair out because I'm using just a regular chair out there. So the new normal is I'm going to have to start bringing this chair out.
Okay, yes, all right.
Because I think Terrell, you're pretty tall, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
How tall are you?
I am not 6'6". I'm 6'5".
Okay, but he had to slide down, yeah. But he loved his hair. Good, I did a good haircut.
Yeah, you did a good haircut.
You did a
Awesome.
good haircut, but the new normal is really tall men are going to have to slide down on that chair.
Yes. That's
Sherelle, did you
yeah.
want to ask Margie anything else just about what we should think about as customers when we go to our hairdresser in terms of
Yeah.
safety?
One other thing, Margie, you can answer this or you don't need to. I don't care, but you can answer this. My question is, if you are a customer and you have this new hair salon, could you do you or you I can you or do you want to enter that or do you think about it and then you try another salon or
Oh no,
what do you
everybody
have?
washes their hands. Everybody that comes into my studio, into my house, into my home studio, everybody washes their hands. I wash my hands. When I'm working outside, we use hand sanitizer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
hand sanitizer is good, but is it like soap hand sanitizer?
Well, when they come into the salon in the house, we use soap.
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do for sure.
So everybody that's on the Zoom today, I want you guys to be thinking about yourselves when you go to get a haircut. Just Margie is here as a resource to us. And I mean, I've already learned a lot. I have some questions, but I would love to just go ahead and, Margie, if that's cool with you, kind of open it up to our audience so that you can share your expertise and really continue the same philosophy you have for your clients, which is the utmost, which is safety, so that we can apply that to ourselves. So everybody cool with that? Thumbs up if everybody's cool for open
Yes.
forum. All right, because that's how we roll and you can do it. Okay,
Right.
raise your hand if you have a question for Margie. Okay, Sam.
My question is for you. First things first, how are you, Margie?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. My question is, has your business really picked up more since the COVID, stuff? Because I actually just went to the hair salon myself not too long ago, and they said that their business has been steady, but I guess a little bit less busier because a lot of more people have been doing their own
What
haircuts at
happened
home.
was the very first week it was gangbusters. The second week it was good. The third week it was like nothing. And then people started hearing that I was working outside, and it's been steady.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for a lot of hairdressers, truthfully, I'm connected with a lot of hairdressers on Facebook, and it's very slow for a lot of hairdressers right now because people are afraid. And I truthfully understand because I'm compromised.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally understand. I've cut my own hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses I know have shut down with literally shut down with the whole COVID stuff.
Yeah. So Margie, you were completely shut down for how long? For like almost 3 months?
Almost 3 months. It was 3 months. I had I did 3 people that were essential workers. That was it. 3 months we were shut down.
Wow. That's a great point, Sam, that you made, that that hairdressers literally were closed down. Like there was very little to zero business. So that was a really good point. Thank you for bringing that up, Sam. I think that's an important thing for us to remember.
I mean,
honestly,
I actually had a friend of mine that works at a food bank. I actually got food bank food. I mean, that I was a little embarrassed, but I was gracious, and I was gracious.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Looks like Joe's got a question. Joe Wu.
Hi, Margie.
Hi.
My name is Joe. Did you apply Fraudulent A?
Do I do what?
You did you apply Federal aid? I have my sister owns a business. You can apply the federal disaster money.
Oh, you mean for loans, Joe?
Yes.
Oh, I think he's asking Margie, there were opportunities for people with small businesses. Is that what you're talking about, Joe?
Right.
I
Did you apply that?
take out any, you know what? I did not take out any loans. You know what? My husband was working and I just thought that was I did not take out any loans. My husband was working and I did not take out any loans. I thought other people really needed them more than I did.
It's a great
Yeah,
point,
thank
though,
you.
Joe. Thank you, and
you.
thank you for bringing that up.
Right.
Somebody else. David Godoy has a question.
When I go to the hair cutting to cut my hair, I use the walking sticks, and the hairdresser helped me put it against the wall. And then for me, it makes it easier to have a chair that has no wheels. Do you have any chairs that on your salon that has no wheels?
Do I have a chair that has no wheels?
Yeah.
You know what I would do for you? Honestly, I would actually, if you came to my salon, I would cut your hair on my driveway.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I would move my little chair, and I would cut it on my driveway.
Good. All right. Good question, David. It gives us all something to think about.
Yeah, thank you so much for
David, I would, you just move, just do what you just sort of like, just be creative.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we talked about 2 weeks ago. Just all of us thinking outside the
You
box.
just have to think outside the box.
Yep. Margie, I have a question. When we're wearing a mask and you're wearing a mask, is it challenging, kind of to Adam's point earlier, is that a challenge for you, one, to be able to understand people, because we're talking through masks, but also when you're wearing the mask, is it hard to cut the hair right here?
Well, let me go and get something for a minute. I think I showed you before we started what I used. I actually use medical tape.
Oh, okay, because I'm very curious about if we're all wearing masks and we're getting our hair cut. That was just something I had thought about.
What I do is I use medical tape and I take off, well, let me just, hold on a second, I'll show you.
So you guys, just some little things to think about when we go in, that we'll be wearing a mask. And I know I have sort of longer hair.
Oh, one more
and
thing.
just figuring out how that's,
Right.
How that's going to work. And also, can we understand each other when we're wearing our masks?
See how like I tape it like this?
Oh, wow. Okay. I get it. Wow. That totally makes sense to me, Margie.
And I do that with people with color too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because remember, I do a lot of color, so I have to get color on their hair too.
Wow. So that makes sense.
This gentleman that came in today, he had a mask that was, sometimes masks are fuzzy, and they're really cute. And I said to him, I said, I can't cut your hair in that cute mask that you're wearing because I will get hair all over it. So at the beauty supply houses, they have these kind of masks.
Okay.
So I actually buy extra masks for my clients.
And Margie, one last question. You are wearing something on your head. Can you talk a little bit about how you protect yourself as well?
I protect myself because I protect my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I want to go back upstairs into my home, I don't want, let's say someone coughs on my hair. I don't want germs all, I mean, when I do like 2 clients and I stop working and I'm with my dogs and my husband, I don't want to have to wash my hair like 3 times a day.
Wow. So if you could tell us 3 things that we should be thinking about as clients to go into a salon safely, what would they be? Like wear a mask. What would you tell us? Like for our takeaway to just be as safe as we can using all of your knowledge and resources as a master stylist during a pandemic?
I would make sure that, I would really make sure that that everything, that their implements are kept clean. They're keeping all their scissors clean, that they're using clean capes on you each time, that they're not using the same cape on each people, because a lot of times before the pandemic, I mean, I would go into salons and yeah, I'll be honest with you, they would use the same cape on each people.
Wow. Okay. And then washing our hands before and after.
Washing your hands before, I mean, as soon as you leave, and when I leave a store, I sanitize my hands immediately.
Okay.
Sanitize your hands immediately when you leave the salon.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions they would like to ask Margie as we start moving forward with our lives, as the world is opening up and Montgomery County is sort of allowing us that time to go and get our hair cut, or even nail salons? All of those services now are available, but we want to be really smart and safe. So I just want to open it up. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay, you get. Okay, let me make sure. Is that Joe? Do you have your hand up? I think Joe has his hand up.
Yeah. Margie, did you wear the face mask to give people a haircut?
I wear the face mask the whole time.
I like that because it's good safety yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wear it I mean, until the client has left, I clean with the face mask on.
Good.
Wow.
Thank you.
And that's great, Margie. It's like we're all just protecting each other.
Right.
You know, if we wear a mask and you wear a mask, then we're all taking care of ourselves.
And I've also gotten 2 COVID tests too.
Wow. See, that's great.
I've gotten 2, right. I've gotten 2 COVID tests in the past like 6 weeks.
Wow. I have a question for our audience, and I'll answer too. Has anybody here during the pandemic, before it was safe to go to the salon, has anybody cut their own hair? Oh, I see Sam. Okay. All right, everybody raise your hand, those who cut their own hair.
My dad actually did mine, but he actually did made a pretty bad edge on one side actually while doing it.
So Sam, did you have to get it fixed?
Yeah.
And Joe, you cut your own hair? Oh my gosh, Adam cut his own hair. Jason. All right, Margie, how many people came in where you had to fix their haircuts that they gave themselves at home?
Quite a few.
Yeah. I thought that might be the case. It's a long time to go for many people.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I don't know about you guys, but it is a skill. Obviously, you study to do it. It's not an easy skill, and it takes a lot of time to get really good, like Margie. So I appreciate that you are able to now offer that service so safely to your clients of all abilities and gender, and it's wonderful.
Margie, could I jump in and ask Margie, I just have a quick question, Nick, if you don't mind. I know I'm the producer. I'm not
Yeah, no, please.
Sure.
You said that you were somewhat compromised yourself. How difficult was that decision, kind of, to earn a living versus health? Like, how did that kind of go in your head?
Truthfully, I have the truth. I have wanted to be a hairdresser since I was 3 years old. I mean, this is what I love doing. And I'm taking every precaution possible.
That's great.
I mean, I had to fight my father. I mean, when I was in high school, my father didn't want me to become a hairdresser. The counselor didn't want me to become a hairdresser. And I had to fight tooth and nail. And I have done this for 40 years.
Wow.
I've done
And
this since, I mean, I first started working at one, there were only 7 hair cutteries, and I was a shampoo girl in 1979.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it's great, you know, to Jason's point, I think, Margie, your love, your passion for your work, you got all of the information, you did the research. What our audience may not know, but I know you guys will appreciate, Margie is a huge advocate. She's out there talking to the county council. She's working with other hairdressers. She's really a resource, not just for us tonight, but for everybody. And I appreciate that, Margie, because I know that that passion that you want to keep doing, but you had to do it differently. You had to figure it out, and you did.
Right.
And that's inspiring. So thank you. And thank you for coming by the show and for teaching us and inspiring us to be able to safely
Thank you.
go to the hair salon, either for a haircut or for some of us, maybe a little fix. Either
I mean,
way.
these are my 2 passions. I mean, I'm on the board of Jubilee, and my 2 passions are, I mean, fighting for people with developmental disabilities and doing hair.
That's great. Well, we appreciate your time. And does anybody have any other questions for, oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. Thomas has a question, Margie.
Okay.
Thomas, you're on mute. Can you unmute? There you go.
I got haircut safe free.
Oh, thank God. That's good. I think I've
Yes.
met you, Thomas, before.
Maybe.
And it looks great, Thomas, by the way.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Thomas. We love to hear that on our show. Anybody else? Well,
What did she say? Did she know me?
She said she thinks she's met you.
yeah. Yeah, Margie said she thinks she
I
met
think
you,
I've met you,
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah.
You asked, what county are you? What county? Ask her.
What county?
Ask her what county she lives in.
What county you live in?
I live in Montgomery.
Oh, maybe at a Special Olympics.
Special
Yeah.
event. Special Olympics event.
You just look very familiar. Yeah.
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody. And I want to just, as always,
good
shout
job.
out to our awesome guest, Margie Billion. So for all of us moving forward, as the world opens up and expands, we're all going to go through this. Remember, we said 2 weeks ago, not alone, but together. And we're going to try, Adam, Terrell, Jason, Donna, and I will always try to bring you guests that can help us move through our community as safely and with as much support as possible. Shout out to the awesome team, Jason TD, Adam as our digital media coordinator. He is our co-host and producer, Terrell as a co-producer and an amazing co-host, and of course, creative consultant Donna Limerick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nick Stearns. Thank you. Join us in 2 weeks. Terrell, take it away.
All right, join us next week. Next time, join us next time. You can do it.
And Adam, if you can lead us out.
We always want to be positive. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. And you guys, we're going to be talking about what are sports going to look like in the fall. And we have a very special guest, a sports writer, be joining us to talk about what are sports going to look like in the fall. Ladies and gentlemen, be safe out there. Thank you for everything. Thumbs up, everybody. Good night. Margie, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was wonderful to meet everybody.
Good night,
Awesome, thank
everyone.
you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.